paradigm shift,
an educational comedy.
It's not a cause, not a movement.
It's not a social group you can slap a label onto.
It's an idea. It's an intention.
It's an intuition.
A mindset in which reality can be explored.
It's a genuine expression,
Discernment,
critical thinking, and imagination.
To look inward upon ourselves.
To better understand the external world around us.
and yes,
Few egos are bound to be bruised.
With our silly, zany, politically incorrect,
George Carlin and Bill style of going about things.
real and raw honesty.
Which invites you to be
to the fullest.
Dear ones, you don't have to know the minutia in order to enjoy love. You don't have to know the minutia in order for Spirit to push and pull you into those areas that are best for you and beautiful for you. You don't have to know the minutia of the clock and to when or why. The reasoning is not needed for you to enjoy and participate in that which God has for you. But so many of you approach the issue backwards. You got to know why, when, how, in order to receive the answers. Isn't it interesting that when you have an emergency, you don't care? Fix it now. I don't need to know. But if you're sitting in a conference and you have things presented to you which may then tickle the intellectual in you, you want to sit down and analyze it before you accept it. I want you to discern emotionally and through the heart. And you start with belief and later you figure out why. If you have to figure out why beforehand, you may never get it. It's all part of assumptions. What do you think of that? What is your reality when it comes to the belief in these kinds of things? Well, I'm going to push the envelope yet again. If you don't believe this is real and what is coming, you won't believe it all. Dear ones, what I want to give to you tonight is simple in love. What humans have that you will then learn to move away from is the box of assumptions based upon all that you are and have heard and participated in all your life. And it's a tough call to get out of them. This morning we told you about a door you could open. It's a metaphor. It's about giving permission to get out of the assumptive box into another reality that is so much bigger than that which you're used to. It has an allowance for that which you cannot see but feel. It gives you the understanding that energies exist around you that have personality, but maybe they're not angels. Is it possible that physics itself is aware? What is it that your heart generates when you have love? Is it real? Is it an emotion? Is it a field? Is it an attitude? Does it have energy? Can it push things around? Does it affect you and others? And if so, how? All of these things, these esoteric things that we have just spoken of, are part of that which humans are learning, but don't really have to understand. There's going to come a day when that which you would call the proof of it, that is science, will come along. And when it does, it will explain many things. But are you going to wait for that? Or are you willing to feel it now? That you have no idea what love is, and yet you sit in it and you love it. You accept it. You want it. It's the basic human emotion, isn't it? From the moment you are born and the mother looks at you, you are loved. Almost overwhelmingly, this is mother and child's emotion, and you don't have to figure it out. There's a bond that exists in love one with another. So many books have been written about it. So much has been discussed, and the romance of it is desirable, and you want it because you feel it, but you can't explain it. Is it so much to ask of you that as I discuss these things, that you would have the same acceptance, just like you do of love? We must speak to you in metaphors. And the reason is because some of the principles that are coming, that have to do with the communication with Spirit and you have no words for it. There's no concepts yet for it. And yet here we are, telling you all about it. We speak in metaphors, we have to. A sightless man finds himself living very comfortably in a home. And he lives there for years, and he develops all the things around him which he is comfortable with. And he has identified everything and is able to work with it. Even though he is sightless, he survives easily. He feels love. He knows where the food is. All of the things he needs to survive in a social environment is understood, and he lives a long life. And the entire time, he never discovered the elevator. And the elevator is the metaphor, he lived in an 80-story building. He assumed there was one story. The reason he never found the elevator is because he assumed he was looking for other things. The elevator was there the whole time. Oh, he felt it. He may have even seen it in his mind, but it was simply a deviation in the wall. It wasn't invisible at all. He just assumed it was one thing when it was another. What if he had found the elevator? What does that mean? The elevator is a metaphor of being able to move to a higher place of consciousness, spirituality, understanding, knowledge. The assumption all along is that he had enough of it, that there was nothing more. He would have sensed it, he thought, if there was. But he never found the elevator. What do you think would have happened if there were no assumptions and he moved into that one room and he looked at all that was there and made no assumptions? He would have found the elevator and would have gone up in it. Now, here is the metaphor of the elevator. Listen carefully, dear ones. He gets in the elevator and it moves him to the next level. He gets out of the elevator into the second floor or the third floor and discovers things that are beyond his imagination that enhance his life greatly. The metaphor is that the elevator automatically lifted him to that higher floor because he discovered it. You will notice I never said he missed the stairwell, did I? You see, there wasn't one. Because the stairwell is something you have to climb yourself. It is something that requires you, step by step, to lift your entire body weight to a place you have no idea where you're going to. Step by step, with efforts, puffing, all of the things that you know all about. Dear ones, that is a metaphor. Now pay attention. Spirit is not interested in having you work to get to the next floor. Are you hearing this? You're going to be lifted there because you deserve it, because it's time for it. It is your lineage to belong on the floors above where you are. It is your lineage. And those who tell you that God is going to make you work for it doesn't know about God. They know about men. They know about assumptions that say you got to work hard to get to level 2. Let me tell you something, old soul. You've worked hard. If you discover the elevator, we'll lift you there. We'll lift you so gently in the hands of God to the next level because you deserve it. So much of humanity is all about you having to please God in some way, having to climb those stairs and hurt yourself, and maybe some of you aren't going to make it, and it goes on just to get to a higher place, and it's not that way at all. It's not that way. So the assumption is clear that you had to work for it, and you don't. Because you already have. So let's break that assumption, ride the elevator, understand that you're being lifted to the next floor. Now, here is a question some may ask. Be clear about the question. Was the elevator always there? Yes. Was the elevator there before you got into the room? Yes. Is there anything else you might be missing that is similar to the elevator? Yes. I'm going to give you a premise now that we have mentioned before only in passing and briefly. And it's the most beautiful thing I may ever say. In you, as you walk around this planet, is everything you will ever need for thousands of years of evolution. It's not going to appear there magically. The elevator was always there. And so is everything else you can imagine. You're built with it, born with it, inbred in it. The lineage of your DNA is complete with it. The spiritual force that is you guarantees it. All you have to do is discover it. What this means is that everything that has ever been taught about what you can do in any department of spirituality or health or consciousness or belief is already there. You have this assumption that you got to go find it and learn it, apply it to yourself, activate it, pick it up, work with it. It's already there. So beautiful. It's the same information the masters of the planet all had. Everything is built in. You were born with it. It's waiting for belief. It's waiting for activation. It's not waiting for God to do something. It's yours. It has your name on it. It's the reason you need it. So you will open that door of belief and understanding that the healing has always been yours all along. Take the hand of the healer and be healed. The cure to the habits, to the fear. It's always been there. The antithesis of fear is compassion and love. And the compassionate human being will wipe out fear. So it will never come back again. If they believe it. It's inside. There's no process, not really, that will then erase it, other than that which is self-discovery. And the question, who am I, can be answered. They are not outside of you. There is no system that is outside of you in this room. Every single system is about you. To bring you to a place where you can understand it's always been there, always. Do you seek higher consciousness? Then why not accept it? You might say you were born with a stamp. Stamped when you were born, higher consciousness. And there you are waiting to find out how to find it, how to get it, who's going to give it to you. And you were born with it. For those of you who are really paying attention and understanding, I am telling you that inside of you is every single answer. And all you have to do is relax. Relax. Believe it. Understand these things. But so many of you are sitting waiting for something to happen, waiting to find a stairwell so you can climb a process, a procedure, a list. And there just isn't one. That is beautiful. You mean, Kryon, if I just sit here and just take a deep breath and imagine compassion, that I can have these things? And I can tell you, you just told the basic truth of humanity. Visualize yourself peaceful. Visualize yourself out of fear. Visualize yourself healed so completely that you are going to go into laughter and hysterical joy because it's gone. A miracle has occurred, you may say, and all it has been is you waking up to who you are. Some of you are waiting for circumstances, things to happen in order to change that. Perhaps it's in the family, perhaps it's at work. And you're wringing your hands and worrying. You're a slave of the clock, dear ones. You think you're not. You are waiting for synchronicity. Others are involved, are they not? Yes, they are. They have to be. So you cannot force an issue that involves other souls. You have to wait until the synchronicity is correct, and it's coming, for things to happen in the way that you have asked. Or you're waiting for something you don't know about to accomplish that or something better. Are you okay with that? That which you are concerned about holds you in the box of concern. That's what you are afraid of holds you in the box of fear. That which you partially believe in holds you back from totally belief. Dear human being, listening to this message, can you throw off the mantle that is covering your belief and move to the next level and let this elevator take you there? And why be satisfied with the second floor when you can go to 80? The things that are available for you are endless, beautiful, possible, if you will let go of the assumptions that you think you know how it works, or the assumptions that the chink you got to go to 1 before you can get to 2. How linear. You assume you belong in a box and you have a job to do and you do it without looking at anyone else. And some of you say, this is the only box that exists because it's the only one I'm in. Therefore, everybody else is doing it wrong. Not understanding. There are no boxes. You're part of a machine that is of love, of creation. You all are a confluence of energy of the creative source. It may appear that you're specialized, but not really. What you do as part of this wonderful machine of love makes the whole machine turn. And what they do makes you turn. And together, you're creating a consciousness shift and peace on earth. But not if you stay wondering how it works, or if you're even going to get there. It's a pretty basic message, isn't it? Get over that thing which restricts you, which is an old belief, or perhaps things you've been told by others, or even your parents, or even your teachers. It's time to think for yourself, to discern that which is discernible now for you, only you, soul, not anyone else. And pick yourself up and get in the elevator of healing, of a lack of fear, of self-worth, and get on with things. There's never been a greater message than this about the power of humanity. It has to start with you. It doesn't matter how old you are chronologically in this room. No difference. It's not linear anymore. Not at all. Absorb these things like a sponge, because what you learn today is forever. I want you to feel empowered even though you may not have understood a word. I don't know what Kryon was talking about, and I don't know what to do. It sounded good then, but I still don't know what to do. Dear ones, don't do anything, but look up to yourself. You hear me? You're bigger than you think, and the processes that you need to find the elevator will be given to you because you want them, without restrictions, without having to figure it out. Dear Spirit, show me what I need to know in order to get to where I belong. This or something better is for me. I'm on my way. Thank you. That's all. And then stand back, because you just threw away the box of assumptions on how you think it's really done. You're powerful. Take it and run with it. It's time. I'm crying in love with humanity, and for good reason. And so it is.